Hi, I'm Christa Jacobson, headmistress of the Budo, where we teach authentic ninjutsu and classical samurai Bujutsu. And for those of you who don't know what that is, it's the ancient martial arts of the ninja and samurai. In today's video, we're going to be discussing the gi, or also known as Keikogi, which is the martial arts training uniform. And we're going to be discussing it from just a general idea of what's the proper wear for martial arts training. However, it will have a emphasis on proper training attire for ninjutsu and bujutsu. So for those of you guys who are training in the ninja martial arts or you're interested in that type of training, this will be a good video for you as to what to wear and why what we wear is relevant towards the martial arts that we practice. Now, before we begin, I always give a shout out to all of my new viewers. So if this is the first video that you guys have seen of me, my name is Christa Jacobson. I'm the headmistress of the Budo, which means School of the Warrior Way. We teach koryu ninjutsu and koryu bujutsu, so the ancient martial arts of the ninja and samurai. This organization does have other areas of focus, such as reality-based self-defense, weapons training and tactics, concealed carry, survival skills, martial arts theory, thought, and philosophy, martial arts conditioning. If any of those topics interest you at all, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and don't forget to click the bell. I do post 2 to 3 videos every single week. So if you're interested in any of those topics, please subscribe, click the bell, and keep up with what we're doing. So today we're going to be discussing gi. Now, gi is the word that people use in the martial arts to denote the training uniform that they wear. The word gi is shortened from the word keikogi, and keiko meaning training or practice, and gi meaning like clothing or outfit. So you have like training clothes, practice clothes, training uniform. That's the idea of a keikogi. Generally, most martial arts don't say keikogi, they just simply say gi, and that's the word that's commonly used in most dojos. Many times I get the questions, if you're training ninjutsu, what should you wear when you practice? And that question is very easy to answer, but there's lots of little avenues that you can go down when trying to answer that particular question. So today I thought I would make a video on that particular subject just to clear a few things up. When studying ninjutsu, everyone thinks of the Shinobi Shozoku, or the outfit of the ninja. If you guys have not already seen my video on that particular subject, please do so. I will put a link in the video description below, that way you guys can watch that particular video, and I explain the Shinobi Shozoku and what it is and its relevance towards history of the ninja. However, the Shinobi Shozoku isn't something that was the training attire of the ninja or samurai. So when people say, what should we train in? That's a completely different question as to what they wore on a mission. Okay, so when we talk about training uniform or practice clothing, we have to talk about what is it that we should wear when we're training in ninjutsu. Now, before I tackle that particular question, I want to talk about something that I've heard within the ninja community, right? I've heard people say things like, well, if you're wearing a black karate gi and you're throwing shuriken, you are not training in ninjutsu. And that is a ridiculous statement. Just to make the statement alone is absolutely ridiculous. Let me explain why. So just because you're wearing a black karate gi doesn't mean you're training in ninjutsu. Well, that's true. I mean, just because you're wearing a Batman outfit doesn't mean you're training to be Batman. I mean, whatever you're wearing is what you're wearing. What you're wearing does not denote what you are doing. But usually the analogy is, if you're wearing a black karate gi and you're throwing shuriken, you are not training in ninjutsu. Okay, again, just because you're wearing a black karate gi does not mean you're training in ninjutsu. If you're in a black karate gi, you could be training in karate, or judo, or aikido, or jujutsu, or taijutsu, or kinjutsu, or iaijutsu, whatever martial art. So just because you're wearing a black martial art uniform does not mean you're training in ninjutsu. I agree. And just because you're throwing shuriken does not mean that you're training in ninjutsu. I agree. Shuriken jutsu is shuriken jutsu. It's the art of throwing blades. It is an art form that all ninja and samurai used of the time. It is generally taught within sword schools, and shuriken jutsu is the art of throwing blades. Shuriken jutsu is not ninjutsu. Jujutsu is not ninjutsu, taijutsu is not ninjutsu, iaijutsu is not ninjutsu, kinjutsu is not ninjutsu. So that statement of like, well, if you're wearing a black karate gi and you're throwing shuriken, you're not training ninjutsu. Although correct, it can also be incorrect. You can possibly wear a black martial arts uniform, you can practice shuriken jutsu, and you can also be training in ninjutsu within your school or organization. And if the black uniform is the required uniform for you in your particular organization, as it is in this organization, that's probably what you would be wearing if you're studying shuriken jutsu, or bojutsu, or kinjutsu, or iaijutsu, or taijutsu, or jujutsu, and ninjutsu as well. So again, the uniform itself does not denote the martial art that you're training in. The uniform that you're wearing is the uniform that you should be wearing because your dojo or your master told you to wear that said uniform so you could practice the art that they are teaching. Now, when training in ninjutsu and classical samurai bujutsu, the purpose of a training uniform or a keikogi is you'd want to have some sort of an attire that you can wear that allows you to train in all of the different skills that would be offered in that particular art. In ninjutsu and bujutsu, you would want to wear something that you could also kind of study the classical kata or traditional forms, even ceremonial things that happened with Japan at that time. You would want something that's going to work for the training that you do and would facilitate the type of training of the martial art that you have. So generally those who are training in traditional Japanese martial arts, they use a gi or a keikogi, and this is something that can be easily worn and adapted to all the ceremonial and traditional applications of Japanese culture. It can also be used within all the fighting techniques and combative applications of empty-handed fighting, weapons training, survival training, you know, etc., etc. But here, if you're going to be studying the Budo and you want to study ninjutsu in this organization, you will start with a white belt, white gi, and then once you pass level 1 and you get your very first rank, you will be awarded a patch that you'll put over your heart. That way you now have the patch on your uniform, and once you get to 5th Q, you will then wear a black gi all the way up to black belt. Now once you get to black belt, you're allowed to wear a hakama for your bottoms if you would like. So you could wear the same black top that you have from your gi and then wear the hakama with the awarded belt that you have. And a lot of the black belts wear that. Depending on different workshops, seminars, and events that we have, if there's something to do with a traditional training seminars, whether it's like Taijutsu or something along those lines, we might have a different uniform for that particular practice. Generally speaking, in this organization, if you are under 5th Q, you will wear a white uniform with the belt that you're awarded. If you are after 5th Q, you'll wear a black uniform and then with the particular belt that you are awarded. Now, when you guys are coming to any of our multiple day camps, all of our ninja stealth camps, and the Taikais and Daikomyosai and Tomoru Shinobi Keiko and all that kind of stuff, all of the students are allowed to wear the classical quote-unquote Shinobi Shozoku. And again, the reason I allow that is because it helps facilitate the training that you will undergo in those particular workshops, seminars, and taikais. You're going to be out in the woods, you're going to be out in the thickets, you're going to be working on camouflage and Mokuton no Jutsu and Doton no Jutsu, and you're going to want to wear clothing that you can get dirty and get into the weeds and the thickets, and it doesn't disrupt your typical training uniform, your keikogi that you would wear in the dojo. So it doesn't matter whether you're a white belt or a black belt. When you come to a taikai, you can wear the black Shinobi Shozoku and do it up and come into the taikai or the seminar, those multiple day ninja camps that we have and stealth camps. You can wear that during that particular session. But the quote-unquote Shinobi Shozoku is, you can only wear that during those particular events. And again, if you've not seen my video on the Shinobi Shozoku, please do so, because I talk about that particular outfit in its historical context to the ninja. I do want to point out one more thing when talking about the gi or the uniform of training. If you guys are in the Budo online ninjutsu dojo, you guys still have to follow the same rules as all the other students in all of our other physical dojos. So you are still required to get the gi, get the uniform that is required for your particular level, and you should be wearing that when you do your reviews and send in those reviews as you go through the levels if you guys are in the Budo online ninjutsu dojo. So hopefully I've answered this question. If you're studying ninjutsu and samurai bujutsu, what should you wear, right? Well, you need to wear what you need to wear to facilitate the training of that of what you're doing. The reality of it is there are certain densho and scrolls and historical documents that do talk about certain clothing as to what to wear on missions, and we also know a lot of the cultural wear of the time, but they don't really talk about what they practiced in. Right? We assume they just practice in something that they could get dirty and rip up and tear up while they're training in the arts. So with that, we have to approach it in the same manner. We need to train in something that will facilitate the training of that of what you're doing. So if you're training in ninjutsu, you need to train in something that's going to be tough enough and durable enough to withstand the training. Hopefully I've answered all of your guys' questions. Let me know if you have any questions. Stick them in the comment section below. If you guys enjoyed this type of video and you're into ninja and samurai and survival and weapons training and self-defense, again, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you guys are interested in authentic ninjutsu and classical samurai bujutsu, please check out my website at www.budoninjutsu.com. There you can see the 7 traditions that we teach, the philosophies and strategies and areas of training that we have within this organization. If you don't live next to one of our dojos, you guys can always join the Budo online ninjutsu dojo and you can start training with us that way. So thank you guys very much for your love and support. I deeply appreciate it. And until next time, take care, be safe, and good luck in your journey of Budo. Bye.